What's up, guys? My name is Chad. They call me Tudor. Welcome to Tudor's Travels. This is my vlog where I'm going to talk about what it's like to move from the beautiful city of Las Vegas, Nevada to the Philippines. I'm going to do it as raw as I can do it, unfiltered as I can do it, and I'm definitely not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to talk about what I like, what I don't like, and it's very subjective. You might like what I don't, and I might like what you don't. So please like, subscribe, and if you know me, you better share it. So I'm sitting here. I'm in my Airbnb, which I like this place, and I think I might try to rent it for a little bit longer, maybe till the rest of the end of the month, and then look into long term in this building. I like this building. I'm in Cebu. I know I've been talking about going to Dumaguete. I've been looking for places in Dumaguete, and I think what has to happen is you actually have to get feet on the ground, get out there, maybe know someone in that area, and they can kind of show you where some of the places are. But everything that I'm finding online is just not what I'm really looking for. I mean, they're super cheap, but just not what I'm looking for. But anyway, I'm sitting here in my Airbnb. This is actually a studio condo on the 23rd floor. And I know a lot of you want to see what the place looks like, but I'll do that in another video. Right now, I just have my camera mounted, and I don't really want to take it off, just to be honest with you. But I've been editing videos for the last few days, trying to get them uploaded as quick as possible. And I have a video where the last video you guys see me and I'm getting into the cab. Well, this video now is of the cab ride, and it took me quite a while to edit it because of where I was sitting and some of the views. It was pretty hard to really see what was going on, but I'm going to dive in and tell you my emotions and how I felt when I was in the cab, and tell you some of the things that are going on. There will be some pauses of silence. I might speed up some of the footage. I don't know yet. It just depends on how it all looks when I get it all together. But I definitely want you guys to see and experience what I did. So I'm going to watch this real time, and I'm going to commentate as good as I can. Here we go. So I just got in. We pulled away from the airport. Sorry about the glass. They don't really clean the glass on the side of those cabs for people to record through. But the driver that I had didn't speak very much English at all, which was fine. We could still communicate. It just wasn't at a level that a lot of people are comfortable with, and it didn't bother me at all. So when we're pulling out, it seems like a normal ride. It didn't feel any worse. There wasn't anything about it that felt any different from driving in the United States. And that's going to change very, very rapidly. Once we start getting into traffic, it's going to get pretty wild. Obviously, there's a lot of scooters out, but right here, it feels like I'm driving in Midwest United States. Wasn't bad at all. There's a lot of people out, but we're really close to the airport. Traffic starts to pick up, and like I said, I don't know any better. I don't know. I don't know if any of it is any better or worse. It's still just the same. And then here it gets a little richer, right? A little bit more traffic. Everything still looks pretty normal. And then we started getting into the city. And as you can see, look at the power lines. Isn't that wild? So I've seen power lines like that before, when I was in the service, going to foreign countries, power lines like that. So I kind of expected that over here. But for those of you that's never been to a country that's not as blessed as ours, that's just how it is. Things look a lot sketchier than they really are. This is normal to them. This is every day. This is a decent part of the city. Like I said, you're going to see a lot of scooters. So while we watch this, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. So in some of the other videos, I told you guys that I'm retired from United States Army / Army National Guard. I did some short time active duty. Rest of the time I did in the National Guard, and I chose the National Guard because my family was in the state of Indiana, as we talked about before, and I wanted to be closer to my family, and it worked out for me very well. So I chose that route. I was an infantryman, so I retired as a staff sergeant, and I during my time in the military, I hated what I did um, until I left, and then I missed it. But what kept me in was every time I would meet someone that was in the service, an older gentleman, older than Vietnam era and maybe even Vietnam era, they would always say, if I would have just stayed in. And that sat with me so much that everyone I talked to that never retired from the military always started, man, if I'd have just stayed in. So I just stayed in and just did it. I don't know what this bridge is right here, but this was pretty cool. Sorry to get off the subject. This is what we're actually here for, this video. This is pretty cool. You could see almost the whole city. You guys know camera views just aren't the same as when you really look through your eyes and see it. But this was nice. This was a nice view. The mountains in the background, the water. You could see the city off to the left. As you guys notice too, the scooters out here, they really don't adhere to much of any kind of roadway etiquette. Well, westernized roadway etiquette, right? They'll split cars. They get as close as they can. They almost touch bumpers with people. They cut each other off. Cars do it too, though, but you're going to see it a lot in this video where they just are in and out, moving, shimmying through all the traffic. But as I was talking about my military career, I really say that I hated it or just disliked it while I was doing it. But when I stepped away, I realized that I didn't. I just didn't like what I was doing at that time, right? So in the moment, I didn't really like it. But after it was over with, I was like, oh man, that wasn't bad. So, kind of like everything. It doesn't say. Let me keep looking. This part of the trip right here is just kind of boring. I don't really want to speed it up though, because if I speed it up, then my vocals will be off and then it'll just be a train wreck from there. So I'll just leave it. You guys are going to get 22 minutes of just in the cab. Wasn't bad. Also, I want to let you guys know too that this cab ride, you guys are going to see how long I'm in it. In this cab ride, it was like 240 Filipino pesos. So if I do a rough math, I don't do it all the way down to the penny. 240 Filipino pesos. I'm going to divide that by, let's just call it 57 because it fluctuates from high 50s, like 57.9 to 58.7. So I'm just going to divide that by 57. You're looking at $4.21 for this cab fare. 2 down. Which was really cheap. How many of you guys take Ubers from the bar and or somewhere to eat? A lot of you take Ubers at night from the bar, right? That way you don't get a DUI, which is smart. But you travel 4 or 5 miles and it's $30. It's insane. I know when I lived in Vegas, an Uber and a cab ride, it didn't matter where you were going. At a minimum was $20, and out here these drivers would love to get $20 every time they put someone in their car. But as you see, as you seen earlier, you see how close that the scooter riders get to all the vehicles. I mean, they're close. Sometimes I wonder how they don't hit their handlebars on a mirror, right? They're really, really close. And it's every day to them. Like, it's nothing. They're not shy about it at all. They'll get 2 inches from you. Shit, sometimes I've seen them get like an inch. There's a couple times if I'd have been sitting in the other seat In the back, I could have rolled the window down and hit the kill switch on these mopeds, shut their moped off. I don't know how many of you guys ride out there, motorcycles, but you ride in packs or whatever, and you got your friends. That's one of the tricks that we do, right? Just push each other's kill switches. But as you see here, it's the traffic's really starting to. I don't know what happened in there in that camera view. I don't even know how to fix that. So if you guys just seen the whole view rotated, this was wild right here. This was a really crazy. This is when I got a little nervous because I've never really experienced it. But these guys are walking around. They're trying to sell. They're selling food and food vendors all around. But I kept hearing this tap, 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 tap on the window, and I look over. I didn't know how to react. But she's over there like rubbing her fingernails across the window and tapping her fingernails, and then she starts knocking on the window, and then she's just kind of like staring at me. I should have looked back over at her again with the camera, but a part of me felt like I should have gave her a little bit of money, but another part of me was like, if I give her money, is there going to be more people that come up? Because I've heard that that's a big thing here, that they'll send someone out if they get money from an expat or a foreigner, that they'll kind of give a signal, and then more will come, and next thing you know, you got 5 or 6 of them around you. There's a little boy. I don't know if you guys could see him or not. It was real quick. He's running around. He's got like little sandwiches he's selling. I think they're sandwiches, selling to people. The hustle out here is real. Like a lot of you people say that you hustle for your money. Man, this is hustle. I'm telling you. They're out here every day grinding at an intersection where they can get anyone's attention. The cars are stopped and like, okay, these people got cars. They got a little bit of money. Let's see if we can get a couple pesos a piece out of them. At the end of the day, they might make enough money to scrape up and get a meal. I've seen it before. I haven't seen it at this level where they're walking in between cars, but I've seen areas where money just wasn't available. Baghdad would be a prime example. In the middle of a war, there's no economy. There's no jobs. They can't work because it's a war zone, and they're still there living. It's amazing how these people even survive. But they do. God willing, right? They do. This light seemed like it took forever. And I'm pretty sure she's still tapping at that window at this point of the video. I'm pretty sure she's still tapping away at the window. She like moves away like 5 or 10 seconds before the light turns green. So she must know when the light's going to turn green. And here we go. And they're off. I mean, just look at all these scooters, right? Just rolling. So a little bit of something else about myself is back in the state of Indiana, I had a business partner, and we owned a small chain of e-cigarette stores. I was an owner for a little over 8 years. I think like 8 years and a month or whatever. He still got him open. I sold him my shares, but very successful. We did very well. I was able to provide financially for my family very, very well. Bills weren't hard to pay. I was blessed. But a lot of you watching are probably people that I met in that store, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much for helping me support my family and making sure that my business was successful. And thank you for your loyalty. It's appreciated more than you'd ever know. And man, thanks for being my friend. It's awesome. How you meet people. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but he had to go around that car, and we were probably 1.5 feet from that curb on the right hand side, and scooters were still zooming If they can get them tires in there and their handlebars aren't going to hit the mirror, they're going. But you know, owning your own business really taught me a lot. And like I said, I met a lot of really awesome people. I've met a few that weren't so awesome, but for the majority of the people that I met, they were awesome. You know, they'd come in and they'd sit down and we would sit there and just talk and share stories and have laughs and share jokes. And it was amazing. It was an amazing part of my life. And like I said earlier, thank you guys for that. I appreciate it very much so. For those of you that actually know me personally, growing up, man, it's been great, right? Like, who would have ever thought that I would be the man that I am today? A lot of you know me. I was pretty rough kid. I didn't really follow the rules. Kind of did what I wanted to do, beat at my own drum, right? And it was rough. I was out there doing rough things, the wrong things quite often. But the military changed me, turned me into the man I am today. I also had help from my stepfather, my dad. As I got older, my dad really taught me some things. See, look at that. See how they just pull right out in front of you? Sorry, I'll get on. They just pull right out in front of you. They don't care. Like, you're going to slow down. You got brakes. Owning a brake service out here would probably be pretty lucrative in pesos, I say, because they're pretty hard on their brakes. But back to what I was saying, the things that I learned through, my uncles, my aunts, some of the stuff my mom taught me. It's you learn from your past, and I'm very grateful that I didn't have the greatest past. As I laugh about that, right? I didn't have the greatest past, but it turned me into the man I am today. I mean, I'm blessed enough that I have a pension. I can move to a tropical paradise and KFC. Oh, that sounds good right now, actually. I hear that there's quite a bit of them out here, KFCs. I did go to a Jolly Bees yesterday. I'll get into that here in a second. But my past made me the man I am today, and I'm just blessed. And I appreciate every single one of you who are watching this video. Thank you all very much. And as you guys look at this, being from the West, you're going to look at this and say, oh man, this is sketchy. This looks like a really bad part of the city. I can get that. I haven't met anybody yet that's been aggressive or bad. So I don't necessarily know. I'm sure there are. Once I get out here and start making friends with locals and expats or foreigners, I'm sure they're going to tell me, hey, don't go to this area. Hey, don't go to that area. But all I see here is people trying to survive, right? So I don't see anything that looks like scary to me. But of course, I've been to worse areas. Chicago, some spots in Chicago, some spots in Detroit and Gary. Those are pretty rough. If you guys look, see how close they are to the railing and how they get, in the United States. Whew. Man, if a moped did that to you guys, you'd lose your mind. Out here, they're like, hey, what's up? Let me through, dee. They honk their horns a lot. That's kind of their sign of like, here I am. And in the West, you honk your horn at someone, you're cussing them out. Here, that's just say, hey, I'm right here. If any of you guys have ever worked in a warehouse where there's a lot of forklifts, it's kind of like the same ideology, right? Like, the forklifts are always tooting their horn so people know where they're coming around a corner or they're there. It's kind of here too. Kind of the same thought process. Hey, look, this video quality is awful. I know it is. It wasn't the most ideal situation for me to film, but I needed to capture some of it. I captured all of it, to be honest with you, but it's just, I wanted you guys to see it. A lot of people are like, oh, what's it like out there? How's it like driving around? I don't know. I'm not driving around. I'm paying people to drive me around because I don't know how comfortable I am with this right away. Let me get used to walking around first before I get on a scooter. And I just got phone service yesterday at like 4 p.m. Filipino time. I got 4 p.m. It took I went in and got my eSIM, paid for it, and it took about 28 hours for them to actually activate the eSIM. So it took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. Hey, I definitely want to point this out because this happened to me yesterday. One thing is that you need to have when you're here in the Philippines, if you care, is an umbrella. Because when it rains here, you can look up and see there's clouds in the sky, right? But it'll be a couple sprinkles for a little bit. Look how she's sitting sideways. Man, I remember we used to do that on little dirt bikes, and my mama about kill us, yell at us, and say, or my friends' parents too, sit on that right. You're going to fall off and break your neck. Out here, scooting. Okay, so these, if you look to the right, there's these buses out here. I don't remember what they're called. Jeepneys. They call them jeepneys right here. It's like a bus. It's like a cab ride, but it's a bus. They're a lot cheaper than taking a taxi, but see what I'm saying about people pulling out in front of you? They just do it. Like he's going to bust a U-E right in the middle of the road. Okay, I'm going to go this way now. And then then on the left-hand side, you had a scooter that I'm not stopping, I'm going. That's how they drive out here. It's wild. Look at that. But anyway, back on topic. So get an umbrella or a poncho or a raincoat or something. Because yesterday, I don't know if any of you are on my Facebook or not, but you've seen me talking about I was getting pissed on, right? It just started raining, just sprinkling a little bit, and as soon as I got under cover, man, it came down. If I'd have been out in that, I'd have been soaked. It came down. So I bought me a little umbrella yesterday. It was like $2, $3. How much was it? $3. So yeah, I got me a nice little umbrella. Everything out here is just different, right? A lot of you are probably like, no, not me. Here's another little jeepney. I'm gonna be quiet for a second because the cab driver and the jeepney guy are like homies, and he started yelling at him or whatever. They're talking. Well, they're about to. But I thought it was cool, Maybe. It's coming up though. But he pulls up right next to him, and they're driving down the road, and they got their windows down, and they're just yelling at each other, chit-chatting, having a good time. I don't know. I don't know what they're saying, but I asked him if that was his friend, and he was like, "Yeah, that's my friend." Stoplights out here are forever too. They take a long time. I didn't have nobody pecking on the window here though. That's for sure. Like it was this. I kind of want to go to this little spot right here. I like this little area. It was cool to me. I want to walk around and look at the shops. See, he rolls down the window. Those Metro supermarkets are all over the place.
Part. Kita na ako kulong ligid part. Pada paligid part dengan part. Magkamay lamat ya pada.
I wish I'd known he was sad. I bet it was funny. Look, car just sitting there chilling. This is wild. Look, if you was in Indianapolis or Chicago, you get T-boned. Sure, you was in Vegas, they just keep going and hit you. Oh, you shouldn't have been there. I'm over here drinking my little Coke Zero, watching this with y'all. It's pretty cool though. Like, it was an experience. These are those little trikes. We just passed it. I know it's hard to see. The lighting in there was wild because all that sunlight was coming down on the dash, which made a little bit of a glare. The camera really couldn't figure out how to adjust for it. His windows got a little bit of dirt on it. I did what I could without hanging my camera out the window because I really didn't know what would happen if I did that, to be honest. Didn't know if one of these scooter guys would drive by and snatch it. Man, that'd have been bad. That'd have been a bad day. Yeah, I thought I was going to come out here and get me a scooter and just be out here bebopping around checking things out, but the way they drive these scooters out here, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I may or may not. I don't know yet. Mess around and get some tires tangled up with somebody else. I don't know how they react to that. Little jeepney coming up. These things are cool to me. I think these things are super cool. I might have to take me a ride in one of them one day. I think they're pretty dope. The original jeepneys look like they have Jeep front ends, so those are cool too. I've seen a chrome one and they sit real low to the ground, like they'll lower them and put them like really low to the ground, and they got these. It's like a box truck, kind of looks like a school bus, but it looks like a lowrider. They're pretty cool. Definitely creative for sure. But we're getting close. Getting close to the end of the video. I definitely enjoy having y'all watch this. I'm glad that you guys are watching this and checking it out. Please make sure you like it. Make sure you're subscribing to these videos. You're going to hear me say it all throughout. I'm just trying to see what I can do. If I can make 100 US dollars a month off this, I'm cool. That's food cost for me. That's cool. That helps. I'm not trying to be no millionaire, Not trying to be no Mr. Beast or anything. Look at him just pulling out. Man, my problem is I'd come out here and get me a scooter. I'd have it all souped up doing wheelies, crashing into jeepneys. Anybody that knows me personally knows that everything that I buy, every vehicle I buy, I do something to. It's custom. It's wild. You got people that don't know me. I was probably one of the first 10 in the United States to put a Tesla Model 3 on air ride. It got a lot of attention. A ton of attention. People didn't even know you could do it. The graffiti was really cool here. It was like, not that graffiti, but the graffiti we just passed. It was cool, like, very artistic. See, there's a little mall right there. I ain't been to that mall yet. I might want to go check that out. The scooters out here are cool looking too. There's some jeepneys. See, they're all over. Another one on the right. Two of them. This is just a cool little experience, like actually getting out. And I'd like to do it again. Crazy part is, I'd like to get in a cab one day and be like, let's just go cruise the block. Like, let's just go see the city. Probably cost me $15, $20 to go right around for a little bit, but I think it'd be cool. Check it out. Let's see what's going on in the city. Hey, take me somewhere and drop me off where it's safe. Sure, there's spots out here that are not safe. I ain't too much worried about it, but also I don't want no conflict. And I'd like to keep my passport if possible. And all my money. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. That's the end of the video. Like I said earlier, I appreciate you guys so much.